Susan Wojcicki, a name synonymous with technological advancement. As the CEO of YouTube, her influence on media is undeniable. At the helm of 23andMe, she pioneered accessible genetic testing. Her public persona exudes innovation, a champion of connectivity and knowledge. But behind this carefully crafted image, a sinister truth lurks. A truth whispered in hushed tones, hidden from the public eye. The world knows Wojcicki as a leader, an entrepreneur, a visionary. Her contributions to technology have reshaped communication, entertainment, and even healthcare. Her story, one of ambition and success, inspires countless aspiring entrepreneurs. But this narrative, as we will soon discover, is but a facade, a carefully constructed illusion masking a much darker reality. The real story begins not in Silicon Valley, but in the heart of Pontivity, a place where the name Wojcicki takes on a whole new meaning, a place where the lines between reality and manipulation blur, where the woman celebrated as a pioneer is nothing more than a code name, a mask worn by a clandestine group with a chilling agenda. In the labyrinthine alleys of Pontivity, a different tale unfolds. Here, the name Wojcicki is uttered with fear and reverence. It is not associated with technological progress, but with a shadowy cabal, their influence woven into the very fabric of this secluded community. They operate in the shadows, their motives shrouded in secrecy. These men, their true identities unknown, adopted the moniker Wojcicki as their own, a twisted tribute perhaps to the power the name holds, or maybe a calculated move to further obfuscate their operations. Whatever their reasoning, the name Wojcicki, within Pontivity, is synonymous with control, manipulation, and a chilling disregard for human life. Their grip extends to every corner of Pontivity, their influence felt in every aspect of daily life. They operate with impunity, their actions cloaked in secrecy and fear. The citizens of Pontivity whisper of their deeds, terrified of the consequences should their suspicions reach the wrong ears. For in Pontivity, knowledge is a dangerous thing, and questioning the motives of Wojcicki even more so. At the heart of the Wojcicki conspiracy lies the loop, a concept so enigmatic and terrifying that it has become the stuff of urban legends and whispered fears, a term whispered in hushed tones, often in the dead of night when the shadows seem to grow longer and the air feels thick with secrets, its true nature a source of dread and speculation. The loop is not just a place or a thing, it is a state of being, a reality that bends and twists the minds of those ensnared within it. The Star Children, a group shrouded in mystery, are inextricably linked to this sinister concept. These children, with their piercing eyes and solemn faces, seem to carry the weight of the world on their small shoulders. Their lives, it seems, are intricately woven into the fabric of the loop. What is the loop? Is it a physical place, a digital construct, or something far more insidious? Some believe it to be a form of mind control, a sophisticated mechanism designed to manipulate thoughts and emotions, a way for the Wojcicki group to bend the Star Children to their will. These shadowy figures, hidden behind layers of secrecy, pull the strings from the darkness, their intentions as murky as the night. Others whisper of a simulated reality, a world within a world where nothing is as it seems, a carefully controlled environment where the Star Children are kept unaware of their true nature. In this digital prison, their every move is monitored, their every thought scrutinized. The truth, as always, remains elusive, hidden behind layers of secrecy and misinformation. Documents are redacted, witnesses silenced, and the few who dare to speak out are quickly discredited. The Star Children themselves offer few clues. Their blank expressions and distant gazes suggest a deep disconnect from the world around them. Often described as possessing an almost otherworldly intelligence, they solve complex equations with ease and exhibit abilities that defy explanation. They seem strangely detached from the realities of Pontivity, as if their minds are elsewhere, trapped in a different dimension or reality. Are they victims, trapped within the confines of the loop, or are they prisoners of their own minds, unable to break free from the mental chains that bind them? Or are they willing participants, their unique abilities exploited for some unknown purpose? Perhaps they are part of a grand experiment, their talents harnessed for reasons beyond our comprehension. The answers, like pieces of a shattered mirror, remain fragmented and unclear. Each piece offers a glimpse into the truth, but the full picture remains just out of reach. The mystery of the loop and the Star Children is a puzzle begging to be solved. Every clue, every fragment, brings us one step closer to understanding the enigma that lies at the heart of pontificate. But the pieces, scattered and incomplete, only deepen the enigma at the heart of pontificate. The more we uncover, the more questions arise, leaving us to wonder if the truth will ever be fully revealed. Section 4. Jordan's Awakening, a glimmer in the darkness. Amidst the pervasive fear and uncertainty, a glimmer of hope emerges. In a world overshadowed by darkness, even the smallest light can make a difference. His name is Jordan, and his story is one of courage, defiance, and a burning desire for truth. Jordan was not just any ordinary individual, he was someone who dared to question the status quo. For Jordan, the awakening was sudden, a jarring realization that shattered his perception of reality. It was as if the world he knew was a mere facade, hiding something far more sinister. The comfortable world he knew, the life he took for granted, crumbled around him, revealing the sinister truth beneath. The memories of his past, once cherished, now seemed tainted by the revelations unfolding before him. It began with a single, seemingly insignificant event, a small detail that seemed out of place, a tiny crack in the veneer of his reality, a flicker of dissonance in the carefully constructed reality of pontificate, a whispered conversation overheard, a secret that was never meant to be discovered, a fleeting glimpse of a forbidden document. These were the first signs that something was terribly wrong. These fragments, seemingly unconnected, ignited a spark of doubt in Jordan's mind. He began to see patterns where others saw randomness, connections where others saw isolation. Driven by an insatiable curiosity and a growing sense of unease, Jordan embarked on a perilous quest for answers. He ventured into places long forgotten, seeking the truth that lay hidden in the shadows. He delved into the hidden corners of pontificate, piecing together the fragments of a terrifying truth. The deeper he dug, the more he uncovered, and the more dangerous his quest became. The more he discovered, the more certain he became. The Wojcicki group, the loop, the star children, it was all connected. Each revelation was a piece of a larger puzzle, a puzzle that painted a grim picture of the world he lived in. And he, whether by choice or circumstance, was now caught in the center of it all. Jordan realized that his journey was not just about uncovering the truth, but about confronting it, no matter the cost. His path was fraught with danger, but he knew that he could not turn back. The glimmer of hope in the darkness was his guiding light, and he was determined to follow it to the very end. Section 5. The Weight of Truth, a Burden Shared. Jordan's quest for truth was a lonely one. He often found himself wandering the streets of pontificate, lost in thought, grappling with the enormity of what he had uncovered. The isolation was palpable, a constant reminder of the dangerous path he had chosen. The ever-present fear in pontificate stifled open discussion. People were afraid to speak out, to even make eye contact, lest they draw unwanted attention. The atmosphere was thick with paranoia, a suffocating blanket that smothered any semblance of normalcy. This forced Jordan to carefully guard his suspicions. He kept meticulous notes, hidden away from prying eyes, and only shared his thoughts with those he trusted implicitly. Every move he made was calculated, every word spoken weighed for its potential consequences. The weight of his discovery was immense. The sheer enormity of the conspiracy he had uncovered pressed down on him, a constant crushing burden that threatened to break him. He felt the strain in every fiber of his being, a relentless pressure that never eased. The conspiracy was vast, its tendrils reaching into every aspect of life in pontificate. Jordan's bulletin board was a chaotic tapestry of connections, each thread leading to another dark revelation. The more he uncovered, the more he realized just how deep the corruption ran. The enormity of it all threatened to consume him entirely. There were nights when he sat alone in the dark, head in hands, overwhelmed by the sheer scale of what he was up against. The anxiety was a constant companion, gnawing at him, eroding his resolve. He knew he couldn't stay silent. The truth was too important, too vital to be kept hidden. But the risks were great, and the consequences of speaking out could be dire. He wrestled with his conscience, torn between the need to act and the fear of what might happen. Speaking out could have dire consequences. The Wojcicki group was powerful, their reach extensive. Jordan knew that to challenge them was to invite retribution, swift and brutal. Yet he couldn't shake the feeling that he had to do something, that he couldn't just stand by and watch as the truth was buried. Then, a flicker of hope. He found others, individuals who, like him, had begun to question the reality of pontivity. They were few, but their determination was strong. Together, they formed a clandestine network, meeting in secret to share their findings and support each other. These individuals, driven by a shared sense of urgency, became Jordan's allies. They whispered their fears and hopes in dimly lit rooms, their voices hushed but resolute. Each meeting was a step towards uncovering the truth, a small victory in their larger battle. Driven by a shared sense of urgency and a desperate need for answers, they worked tirelessly. Every piece of information was scrutinized, every lead followed. Their determination was unwavering, their resolve unbreakable. They formed a clandestine network. They met in secret, sharing their findings, their fears, their hopes for a future free from the Wojcicki's control. Each new piece of information, each whispered conversation, brought them closer to the truth. But it also increased their risk. The more they uncovered, the more dangerous their mission became. The Wojcicki group, they knew, would not tolerate dissent. Their grip on pontivity was absolute, their reach extending into every corner of their lives. Yet, they persisted, driven by the belief that the truth, once revealed, would set them free. They knew the risks, but they also knew that the stakes were too high to back down. Their hope for a better future, a future free from the Wojcicki's control, kept them going. Each new piece of information, each whispered conversation brought them closer to the truth, but it also increased their risk. The Wojcicki group, they knew, would not tolerate dissent. Their grip on pontivity was absolute, their reach extending into every corner of their lives. To challenge them was to invite retribution, swift and brutal. Yet, they persisted, driven by the belief that the truth, once revealed, would set them free. They knew the risks, but they also knew that the stakes were too high to back down. The more they uncovered, the more dangerous their mission became. The Wojcicki group, they knew, would not tolerate dissent. Their grip on pontivity was absolute, their reach extending into every corner of their lives. The Wojcicki group, they knew, would not tolerate dissent. Their grip on pontivity was absolute, their reach extending into every corner of their lives. To challenge them was to invite retribution, swift and brutal. Their grip on pontivity was absolute, their reach extending into every corner of their lives. The city itself seemed to be under their control, every building, every street, a testament to their power. Their reach extended into every corner of their lives. The shadowy figures that moved through the city, the ever-watchful cameras, all served as reminders of the Wojcicki's omnipresence. To challenge them was to invite retribution, swift and brutal. Yet they persisted, driven by the belief that the truth, once revealed, would set them free. They knew the risks, but they also knew that the stakes were too high to back down. Driven by the belief that the truth, once revealed, would set them free, they continued their fight. They knew the risks, but they also knew that the stakes were too high to back down. Their hope for a better future, a future free from the Wojcicki's control, kept them going.